What's up, you guys? I'm Rachel DeMita, and welcome to the Courtside Club. Today, I have a ton of updates for you, so let's not waste any time. Let's jump right in, starting with the news that the Indiana Fever have signed Odyssey Sims to a hardship contract. Now, in last week's video, I shared with you guys the devastating news that both Colson and Aari McDonald went down with season-ending injuries during that Phoenix Mercury game, and so with that, the Indiana Fever are down to 9 healthy players. Now, luckily, they only had 9 for the game against the Chicago Sky, but they were able to pull out a convincing victory. And of course, we can't have a Courtside Club episode without a cat. So it looks like Storm is joining us today. Buddy, can we not be crazy? At least you can sit right here, okay? Anyway, with that, the Fever are allowed to sign a hardship contract, so they have added Odyssey Sims to the roster. Now, from my understanding, this is a different type of hardship contract, and even when Caitlin Clark comes back into the mix, the Fever won't need to cut Odyssey Sims, and there's also not like that 10-day waiting and grace period thing that they had to do earlier on in the season with Aari McDonald. So it seems like if Odyssey Sims comes into the mix, if she's a good fit for the team and they like her, they could be able to keep her for the rest of the season, so we'll just have to see. But I do have to say that the Fever have done a really good job with these hardship contract signings, with the Chloe Bibby signings. Like, both Aari McDonald and Chloe Bibby came in and they pretty much just worked right away. So if Odyssey is anything like those signings, I think that she will be a great fit with the Indiana Fever and obviously help them in these next stretch of games. Now, speaking of Caitlin Clark, fans over the last 24 hours started losing their mind when they saw that the WNBA had Caitlin Clark listed as a game time decision for tomorrow's game against the Dallas Wings. However, after practice today, Coach Stephanie White did a little interview and they asked obviously about Caitlin and where she's at in her recovery. And she said that Caitlin Clark is not yet practicing with the team. She has been doing full court running and endurance work, but she hadn't been added to the mix. So once again, it seems like she's obviously or hopefully not going to be playing tomorrow if she hasn't done any practicing. And it still might be quite a bit of time before we see Caitlin Clark back on the court. I've mentioned this in previous videos, but when she came back from the last, I think it was a quad injury at the time, when she came back from that, it was only reported that she had one full speed practice before they brought her back on the court and back into the games. I'm hoping this time they do just wait it out. Like, let's just see how she does. When you get Caitlin Clark back into the mix, you want her to be at full speed. You want her to be the Caitlin Clark, be playing at the Caitlin Clark level that we all know and love, and that will really help the team. Rushing her back at this point of the season when they have less than a month left in regular season is just not smart. But also, I think it's strange that they have her listed as a game time decision, but we know how the WNBA and the media does with these injury reports. You never know what to trust. And when you think about injuries this season in the WNBA, it has been quite absurd how many players have gotten injured, how many players have had season-ending injuries, how many star players have been out for extended periods of time. Off the top of my head, Napheesa Collier currently still out. Caitlin Clark has been out more than she has played this season. Angel Reese has had a long stretch of games that she's been out. Paige Bueckers has been out for multiple injuries and also a concussion. Alyssa Thomas has spent time away. Brianna Stewart has spent time away. And just out of curiosity, I went to the WNBA injury reports just for today to see kind of who was on this list. Jordan Canada with the Atlanta Dream. She was carried to the locker room on August 10th after suffering an apparent injury in Sunday's game against the Mercury. Angel Reese obviously is out with a back injury. She's considered day to day, but Angel Reese did not even travel with the team for the Indiana Fever game. So if she's not even traveling with the team, then I don't know how she could be considered day by day. There might be something else going on. She still might be in a lot of pain. I don't even know if we're going to see Angel Reese back on the court with how horrible the Chicago Sky are doing this season. They're clearly not going to make playoffs, so I don't even know if they will bring her back for the rest of the season. We have Ty Harris, who has been out for the whole season. We have Kayla Thornton, who just had surgery on her right knee. She's out for the whole season. Obviously, Colson, Aari McDonald out for the season. Caitlin Clark been out for an extended period of time. Cheyenne Parker-Tyus, who is hopefully returning for playoffs. Napheesa Collier has been out with an ankle sprain. She's out for at least 2 weeks. Brianna Stewart with her knee injury, she said that she wants to get back on the court before her birthday, which I believe is at the end of August. But you have her, you have Sably, you have Kennedy Burke, and then you have Shakira Austin, who's day-to-day, and Georgia Amore for the Mystics. But there have been so many, like Ryan Howard just came back from injury. She's the star player in the WNBA. There's so many injuries, and this is something that fans have been pointing out, and they're wondering, like, what is going on? What is the reason for all of these injuries? And I know a lot of people, when they first think about injuries, they point to the referees, like it has to be the referee's fault because the game is too physical. And I do think there's possibly multiple things at play here, if I'm just going to theorize as to what exactly is going on. One, I do think the refs play a part. The game is way too physical. The calls are very inconsistent. And over time, all of that wear and tear on your body is going to catch up to you. I think secondly, they extended the season this year, but they didn't, or they extended the amount of games this season, but they didn't extend the amount of time in between games. And so this is immediately more load for these players throughout the season. They're playing more games with less time off and less recovery in between. And lastly, I wonder if the offseason play has anything to do with this also, because when you think about just how many miles are on the legs of these players, a lot of the veterans in this league have been playing full season all year round for many years of their career because they go overseas during the offseason, or they play in AU, or obviously Unrivaled is one of them. And we saw a lot of injuries in Unrivaled as well. I do wonder if there's not a significant amount of off time for these women if they don't have the right training staff in place. But something definitely needs to be done. Like, having this many star players miss so much time as they have, especially this season, is not great for the league. And especially with a growing league and so many eyeballs on it, fans are like, whoa, everyone's getting hurt. People are on the ground, people are out, there's concussions, there's all of these things. So you guys let me know in the comments below what you think is contributing to all of these injuries and if there is anything that could be done. Now, speaking of bad refereeing and possible injuries, I wanted to share with you guys this play that happened with Kelsey Plum during the Sparks versus Golden State Valkyries game. As you can see, Kelsey Plum is guarding Veronica Burton here. If you watch it in slow motion, it's actually crazy. I think Veronica Burton, she pushes off slightly on this play, pushes off slightly right here, and then goes to cross over, and Kelsey Plum just kicks out her leg. I think she's going to kick the ball, but in what world is that good defense? Like, this was wild to me. And I think Kelsey hurt herself too. Like, she goes and grabs her shin. I do not know what was going through her mind. I don't know what the impulse was here. But once again, my problem comes in with the WNBA referees. You would think a play like this, Kelsey would likely be ejected. This would be a flagrant 2. It was obviously something that was intentional. It was a dangerous play. She almost hurt herself and another player, but play just went on. They reviewed it. Kelsey Plum stayed in the game. I don't know. The standards at this point for the refereeing, we've talked about it a million times. I feel like a broken record. I don't want to keep having to say this, but with all of the injuries that we are seeing and the wear and tear that we're seeing on these players' body, something needs to be done. And I don't love also, you guys, just showing you crazy things that happen in games over and over and over and calling out the referees, but they can't find me. I can say whatever I want. So maybe my voice, enough people will hear it and they will do something about it for next season. On a higher note, I did want to shout out Kelsey Mitchell because she has become the WNBA's leading scorer this season with 710 points. And if you look at this list here, Kelsey Mitchell's at the top with 710. Then it's Fee with 694. Asia was 626, which, by the way, the other night Asia just had a 32-point game with 20 rebounds, which is absolutely insane. And Asia's definitely been carrying the Aces on her back this season. They have not been very good, but it has pretty much been the Asia show every single night. She's up there at third with 626 points, and then Sabrina is in fourth with 622 points. So just wanted to give you guys some good news when it comes to the league. Kelsey Mitchell has stepped up big with Caitlin Clark off the court. She has been doing it all for the Indiana Fever. She's been playing a ton of minutes. She's been staying healthy. She's been shooting the ball really well. So, and lastly, you guys, I wanted to quickly talk about the Rookie of the Year race. It has seemed like, if you're following the media, if you're following what's going on social media, that Paige Bueckers has run away with Rookie of the Year. It is hers. Nobody else is even in the mix. I know that we are talking about Sonia Citron and we are talking about Kiki Ariafen earlier on in the season, but it seems like as of late, it is the Paige Bueckers show. She is breaking all of these records and is Paige. Paige. Now, while I do agree that I do think that Paige should win Rookie of the Year if it was crowned at this very moment, there should be more discussion about the Rookie of the Year race because Sonia Citron is somebody who has been playing consistently well throughout this entire season. And if you go by the same standards as last year, when we were talking about the Rookie of the Year race with Angel and with Caitlin, the Washington Mystics are on the playoff bubble and they are doing significantly better than the Dallas Wings. Now, if you look at their side-by-side statistics right here, Sonia Citron has played 31 games while Paige has only played 25. Some of those have been due to injury. There was another game where Paige sat out due to rest, which also I know a lot of people were up in arms about that. I do not have a problem with that. Paige has had some serious injuries in the past. If she's one player who might need a little bit more rest, that's fine. Like, let's not risk another full-blown injury right after she just came off her college season. But if you look at these numbers right here, the stats aren't too far off besides the assist category. Now, obviously, Paige Bueckers is a point guard where Sonia Citron is a wing player. But if you watch both of these players play, there is a case to be made for both of these players. And the thing that bothers me about all of it, once again, is just the inconsistencies in coverage when it comes to certain players in the league. And specifically, when it came to Caitlin Clark last season, Caitlin Clark ran away with the Rookie of the Year award. She ran away with that early on in the season. And you had so many people, like even on ESPN, I remember multiple clips and they're saying, well, if we gave it the Rookie of the Year award out now, we'd have to give it to Angel because her team is doing better than the Indiana Fever. And at the time, the Sky were up like one game on the Indiana Fever. But the media just covers things so much differently with Caitlin than they do with Paige. And I do think it will be very, very interesting if Paige somehow happens to win unanimous Rookie of the Year, because I do think the race in this year's Rookie of the Year race is much tighter than it was last year, and Caitlin Clark did not win unanimous Rookie of the Year. And again, you guys, this is nothing against Paige Bueckers. I think she's an absolutely fantastic player, and at this point in time, I still think she deserves Rookie of the Year. But if you're going by the media standards and what people were saying last year, I just think it's interesting. But obviously, you guys let me know all of your thoughts in the comments below. Thumbs up this video if you enjoyed it, and click that little subscribe button because we upload new videos every single week, and I will be going live for the game tomorrow night, so make sure that you guys subscribe, hit the notification bell, and hopefully I see all of you then. But with that, I think that's all I've got for you, and I'll see you next time. Ooh, Anna.